I'm Raymond Harris, and I've been in business for over 40 years. But the principles that I learned in how to operate a business really started when I was a young man. I was desperate to understand how to operate in God's kingdom. So I began to read as much as I could. Found there's not a lot out there. There's a lot on finance, a lot on money, a lot on management, a lot on leadership, but very few business books that are written to a person that wants to understand how God designed business. So I decided to look at business from the perspective of what did Jesus teach. And then I began to apply the principles as I understood them one by one. And as we grew, we began to service the client, but also realized that I needed to share the things I'd learned because I felt a nudging from God to be a good steward of my leadership. How many times do we read a book? We said, you know, that was really a good book. Now tell me about it. Well, I can't really remember everything in the book. And so I decided the best way to communicate some of the principles was to tell a story about the principle, taking the gospel parables and applying them to all things business. Not everything in the world is bad, but everything in God's economy is good. And if we apply the principles that God shares with us through His Word, then I think we will be successful. Whether you're in ministry or if you're in a not-for-profit, or if you're in business, you're professional, it doesn't matter. If you're working, this book applies to you because God's principles apply across the board.